All right, math team, as promised, another annoying video from me. Debbie is in there frantically copying, and we're hoping to get the materials out to you all today. But some of you we may not get to, so I wanted to make sure that I gave you a chance to have a walkthrough of the materials. So this time, what you're going to get is different folders. You're going to get lots of different folders, and they'll be organized and labeled. Okay, so they're basically broken down into, you're going to get a folder that's handouts that everyone will get. Okay, so you can put them out at their seats if you'd like, or put them by the sign-in sheet and label them as everyone take one. Okay, so some of the things they're going to get at the half day are going to be everyone gets a copy, and other ones are just going to be where there's not one for everyone. Okay, so everything in here is everyone gets one. So let me show you what's in here. And these are all things that are referenced in the presentation or in the resource section or whatever. So this is the 100 Math Discourse stems. It's really self-explanatory. It's going to be something that they'll just have handy. We don't do an activity with these, but we want everyone to get a copy. We thought it was worth sharing. So this is a really powerful document. You could encourage them to have them out, have them with their planning, have them by their front of the room. And same thing with this. Let's Talk Math, 20 power sentence starters and questions. These are really good things to have out, and we went to the trouble of copying them because we thought they might want to hang them up. Also in this folder you will find the giving them something to talk about activity, and this is actually in the presentation. So this is where we've got examples of the same type of task, but getting increasingly more sophisticated and giving them more of an opportunity to engage in the mathematics. Two different ones, right? So this question versus this question, etc. It makes a lot of sense as you look at it, but you'll see that some are much better for math discourse than others. A great article on planning and leading math discourse. This is something that really, especially some of your people that feel like they're confident in this, might want to pay attention to this article. And Scott does mention the 5 practices. All right, so that's in this article, and everyone gets a copy of that. And then that's it for that folder. The next folder are a folder of items that you can just put out by the sign-out sheet. Okay, so these are things that you don't necessarily, we don't really have it where everybody gets one, but they'll be left out for anyone who might be interested, so they can take one if they'd like. And in this folder you'll find book study flyers. Okay, so here's the one that I'm leading on Principles to Actions. Here's the one that Julie Berlin is leading on Teach Like a Champion. That's not math specific, but it lends itself to math and all other subjects. And then Betsy Mays is leading 5 practices for productive mathematics. You could kind of encourage your teachers and tell them, hey, if you're somebody who feels really confident, this is probably the book study for you because it dives deeper. So those would be out by the sign-in sheet. And then there's also this really cool thing that's being offered in conjunction with fine arts, physical problem solving, math, and dance. So this is just an advertisement that you can put out by the sign-out sheets, and people can take what they would like, if they're interested though. And then, so those 2 folders are done. Then you're going to have a couple folders that, this is one, the Advanced Challenge Yourself folder. It'll be 1 per table, or 1 per group cluster. There's limited copies, and they're just for people to kind of take a look at. They're not, now at the end they can take one home, but they're just to have out and look around. Everything's available in Google Drive, but we're going to put that on the folder. It's available in Google Drive. So for that teacher that really feels like, oh, this isn't something I need, I've really got this down, and I think this is one of the most powerful things for them to take a look at. It was eye-opening for me even. It really talks about an example, right? So encourage them to take a look at that, especially if they feel advanced. And then if they feel advanced as well, this is an incredibly powerful mini research article done by Joe Boller, who is the one behind the Math Mindset book, and it is incredible. And for those teachers who are struggling with particularly titled schools and the challenges of having so many different levels in your classroom, this is a fascinating read. Okay, so we're just trying to expose them to some higher level things. So we're hoping that they'll take a look at it and go, well, that looks interesting. And if no one else at their table wants the copy, they could take it, or they'll go online and read it, right? So it doesn't necessarily have an activity that they have to do built into the presentation, but if they want to challenge themselves, there's stuff in that folder. And then the last folder are some resources, and this is for that section where they get a minute to take a look at the resources, and they can just kind of look through the folder and see some of the stuff that we've provided. Okay, so in here, what you'll find is some stuff that could be really neat. Some problem of the day resources, really good stuff here. Now, a set of those. And again, we did not copy these for everyone to be too much, but they are in the drive. This is one that I think is really powerful. It's 2 blogs, the power of having more than one right answer. And it's a wonderful blog from the NCTM website. It's 2 blogs that we put them together about how to do stuff that's open-ended where there's more than one right possible answer. And the person who wrote these blogs is actually the author of the book that we're including in your bag that you can give out as a door prize. And it has these types of problems in it. Really good stuff. So just that actually turned out to be a coincidence. Then in the resource folder, they've asked for examples of activities on that they can use their consensus boards for. And remember, the consensus boards are those big whiteboards, multi-kid whiteboards. And if they don't have them, don't know where they are on their sites, then they need to talk to their principal, because every single school got one. So we're hoping that they would be clamoring for them. And then last but not least, there's a really wonderful site called UCubed. And UCubed has stuff from Joe Bowler as well, and stuff from Stanford. This is actually a parent handout on how they can help with mathematics. Now, I want to point out, and you can point this out as well if you have time, she even explains it down at the bottom where that little British flag is. She uses the term maths, M-A-T-H-S, and it's not a mistake. It is the way they say it in England, number one. And then she also explains why she says maths. And if you read that little explanation at the bottom, I think it's kind of interesting. And I think I'm going to start trying to convince myself to say maths from now on. It just sounds weird, though. I can't get used to it. So again, these are resources, and you can put 1 folder per table just for them to explore. And there's a couple of copies of each available at each table. Other than that, you'll also be getting in your bag, you'll be getting candy to hand out. Every one of you, if you don't have one of these yet, the buttons that you can wear at the presentation and beyond, and we're actually ordering more. And I mentioned earlier that we're putting a book in that you can give away as a door prize. However you would like to do that, totally up to you on the best way you'd like to do the door prize. And then also, don't forget, we want to encourage hashtag PD Half Day and hashtag PV Try 3. We'll be watching the social media that day, and we actually have $25 Amazon cards to give out to people that do some particularly interesting stuff on social media. So there you go. Every one of these things is available. Can I do that? That's not easy. Is available in the Google Drive. If they go to the Half Day Hub website, they'll find everything. Okay? All right, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you know where to find us. And have a great day and a wonderful weekend.